get the pop-up, and we will go to live chat and tap that off. We are all set to go, guys. Let's see. Sinful is already on here. Greetings from New York this week. He'll be doing our moderating tonight. Probably Michael will be too if he's on here tonight. Android 101. Wow, I didn't miss this week. 7:30 a.m. and 0 degrees Fahrenheit in Colorado, guys. That's pretty cold, man, already. Let's see. Sinful says no politics, personal questions of Steve. Let's all have a good chat. I wish to you all. We got 4 people on here already. Let's see how many people get on here. Ouch, 0 degrees, Sinful says. But tonight we can talk about just about anything we want on here tonight. Let me just take this thing down. I don't like to have that up too much. Let's see. There's got too much information on there. It's not anything personal or anything, but I just don't. Some things I don't like to have out there. Let's see. Android 101, just beginning of winter here. January is brutal. So we got 7 people on here so far. So whatever you guys want to talk about, we can talk about tonight. I didn't think it was that cold already in Colorado. I'm thinking like October, it wouldn't be down to 0 yet. That's pretty cool, man. You know, I mean, I remember going up to New Hampshire in October, and we were camping out one time up there, and it was snowing. I went up there with my dad, and it was snowing. We woke up and we had like about an inch of snow on the ground, and I didn't even hear it during the night. It was cold. It was real bitter cold, you know, when we woke up in the morning. Let's see, for Android 101, just beginning the winter here. January is brutal. I can imagine, man. But we have 363 days of sunshine here and near 0 humidity. I wish we had that here, the 0 humidity thing. Actually, the AC has been bothering me lately, and that's one of the things that's bothering my sciatica lately. We're up to 18 people here, so if you guys want to start shooting some questions on here, we can talk about anything you guys want, pretty much, with the exception of politics or personal questions. Some personal questions I can answer, but if it gets too personal, no. Let's see. We got 7 thumbs up, guys. Let's shoot that up there if we can tonight. It gets more people watching, so that's a good thing. But so Android 101, whereabouts do you live? Regular guy is on. Steve, soon I'm going home. You're not staying here, regular guy? Michael L is on board. Good morning. It's 12 degrees Celsius here in St. Charles, Missouri. No eclipse for us. We have 70% eclipse. Pero too much cloud cover. Okay. Let's see, my middle-age adventures. Hello, Steve. Sinful says, let's hit the thumbs up, folks, guys. Thanks. All right, we're up to 28 people here. So whatever you guys want to shoot out there. Regular guy, so why are you going home, if you don't mind me asking? Or is that too personal? Are you going home permanently? Regular guy has his own show. Sinful, how did you get the wrench? He's the moderator, regular guy. When you put him on as moderator, he gets the wrench. That's how he gets it. John Fetchko, hi Steve. What you do is you tap him and you can make him the moderator. Giovanni Cipriani says, good morning from Florida. Paul Besa, hello Steve, watching and listening from Caloocan, North Metro, Manila. There we go. Faith and her daddy, rather. Steve and her daddy. Hey everyone, it's Dean Thompson here in Texas now. What's going on, Dean? Good to see you on here tonight. Give me a yell sometime during the week if you get a chance. Sinful says, regular guy, I am the moderator. The moderator gets the wrenches. Regular guy says, yes, he is moderator, but are you 2 personal friends? Yes, we are. Sinful says, hey, Dean, yes, Steve and I close friends. Larry Scott says, what is a good airlines to get to the Philippines? Almost all of them are really good. With the exception of the China Airlines. I'm not too fond of them. That's what I took over here, and I was not happy with the flight. I just was not happy with the flight at all. Text World says, Steve, many PH-based YouTubers make many videos interviewing fellow YouTubers. I think that gets kind of old. Somebody interviewed me the other day, and I agreed to it, but I just don't like interviewing other YouTubers. Why would you? You know what I mean? They have their own show. It's just kind of redundant, you know? I rather just, our show is different here. We talk about info, and we also talk about, other things that people should know about over here in the Philippines. And once in a while, I'll talk to people on here. I have. We do houses and stuff like that. We show homes and stuff once in a while. We haven't showed any in a while because we haven't had any available around here. They're not that available lately. Faith and her daddy, Rich. Sorry I didn't call you back the other day. Hi, Steve. What's going on, Dean? We'll wait for you to come back, man. Giovanni Cipriani says, hey, did you see that video on YouTube? Expat left for dead in the Philippines. I did not watch it. No, I just happened to see it and I didn't click on it yet. Text World, I haven't seen you do it that much. You don't like going. You don't like doing that. I do like talking to people and stuff like that. I don't do it much on my videos. I mean, we have in the past, but it's not something that this channel is about. Our channel is a little bit different. Once in a while, we mix it up and stuff like that, just to mix it up. And we kind of tell the story. It's a vlog, you know. We kind of pass out information. That's what we do in this channel. Textwood, I haven't. Let's see. Rory Bellamy, Cleveland, Ohio. Cold, 51 Fahrenheit. Rain. The furnace will be on soon. Burr. Gurkha 9 says Larry Scott. EVA is a good choice. Sinful says Larry Scott. I just use EVA Air and was very impressed. Just make a 2-hour stop in Taiwan. My middle-age adventures. Shay and I are going to driving school here in Emu City. Do you know? Do you have any advice on buying a motorcycle from a private seller? Just be careful. Take it out for a ride and test it. Check the brakes. Check everything on it, because these people they tend to not take care of things, not change the oil much, and lowball them, because usually you got to do some work on them, and some serious work. They're gonna tell you some stuff was done when it probably wasn't. Check the brakes. Check the pads. Let's see. Sinful says cold here in New York this morning. Mike C from Dumaguete. Hi, Steve. Let's see, Jeff L. All the YouTubers in Dumaguete interview each other all the time. It's kind of, I don't want to. I mean, I'm not interested in the other YouTubers and you know that much. I know people do it, and I got interviewed the other day, and you know I was okay with it. You know, the guy wanted to interview me, and that's okay. You know, Renee Jimenez says, "Sinfuls, what city are you in?" Ken Amaro says, "Hey Steve, watching from Lancaster, Pennsylvania. I've been there. That's a nice country, man. When I was a kid, my father brought me through there on a bus tour." Lynn says, "Jeff, I agree. Sinfuls. Renee Jimenez, no upstate visiting family. I had to come back to the U.S. for a surgery. Sinfuls, I missed my home in the Philippines." Text World, buying a motorbike from a private seller, you'd have to be careful. There's no finance money owning on it. Yeah, be careful, man. You know, you better off buying a new one, I think, if you're going to stay here. Don't buy a used one. That's my advice, you know. I don't... And if it's fairly new and you know the person, then that's different. Renee Jimenez, hope you're well, Sinfuls. Yeah, we all hope Sinfuls as well. Lynn says, Sinfuls, get well soon. Sean Richardson, hey, me, Lawrence. Okay. John Fetchko, PAL, Province Airlines. Michael L says, and make sure there's a clear title. Exactly. Yeah, that's why you're better off buying just buy a new one. That's my advice, to be honest. You know. Kenamaro, just north of you in Hornell area. Sinfuls, I bought a used one, no issues, nice bike. I am well, thanks. Renee Jimenez, Steve, will you visit any other country? You know, Renee, I probably will at some time, at some point, you know, but not right now. I got too much going on right now that I'm dealing with. I'm trying to take care of some personal business here in the Philippines. When I'm done with that, some health business, you know, and then I think me and my girlfriend will probably go someplace. We're not sure, you know. I'm talking to her about it. I want her to get a passport and stuff. We'll see what happens. Faith and her daddy, Steve, if all goes well, I will be back in January for a few weeks, then back in the U.S. for some medical issues. Some things I'd rather not deal with in the Philippines. I miss being home there. I'm sure you do, man. I mean, I don't think I could leave here now. Sometimes, you know, there's things going on, you know, it makes you want to leave, but, I mean, ultimately, I really don't want to leave here, you know, unless it got so bad over here. And there are days over here, and you know, we talked about that. Let's see, Sean says, oops, meant Mr. Lawrence. Sinful says, the only issue buying new motorcycle is the time to get the registration. Yes. DL says, are you happy with the 3.2 COLA increase for SS and VA? I mean, I don't collect Social Security yet, so I'm not really worried about that. As far as the VA goes, yeah, I'm okay with it. I'm not really up in the upper echelon. I'm in a good spot, but I mean, I'm not in the 100% range or anything like that. So, DL, what's the word over there from people? I'm not sure what you mean by that, DL. About are you talking about the SS and the VA? Most of them are pretty happy, from what I see. Sinful says, DL better than 3.1, LOL. Jeff L, Steve, have you researched the immigration process for Indonesia? I have not. No, that's not. We deal strictly with the Philippines here because it's enough to watch the stuff that's going on over here in the Philippines, the laws changing here, than watching Vietnam and Thailand and all that. See, Faith in her daddy says, Sinfuls, I agree. OTA easily a half day to go through the registration process. DL, yes. Michael L says, what's up with the people not registering their bikes? If you can't afford the registration, you can't buy the machine. I have seen countless Filipino get in trouble for not registering the machines. They take them away. They actually impound them. Sinful says, yes, Dean. Text World. Steve, you were the first to expose Paul Cardwell. You did it with no malice. No, I did not. Just as a public advisory. Do you have stories to share with others who are perhaps presenting false persona? None that I would say on here right now. I know a couple others that out there that have channels and stuff like that, but I try to stay off that unless they're if they're doing things out there with malice. I mean, there are a couple out there, and you guys know who I'm talking about. He's pretty well known. Nobody really watches this channel. I'm not gonna even get into that. That's something I try to stay off of. The reason why I went into Paul Cardwell because somebody alerted me to him, and and when I read all the articles and stuff, it was all true. It was all out there. It wasn't any malice towards him or anything like that. I wish the guy well. I hope he changes. I hope he has changed. But I've seen some things afterwards that he said that I didn't like, that I didn't think were real. I don't think he was telling the truth. Everybody has their opinion of the guy. Hey, I wish him luck. He's back in the U.S. now, and he still does a channel in the Philippines, which I find kind of funny. Damn cars! I just heard that Gio is considering moving back to the U.S. He's in his 50s and is getting married. Glad I'm retired. Philippines is better for me. I don't know. I couldn't see Gio going back to the U.S. Maybe he will. Who knows? It's possible. I don't know Gio well enough. I know some people that do know him. Maybe he will go back. I mean, some of these guys, eventually you just feel like going back for many reasons. Sinful says, 41 watches, only 23 thumbs up. Let's hit that. Well, let's see, it's 49 and 24 thumbs up. That's not too bad. So we're going up. Pat Keen, good evening, Steve. How you doing, Pat? Giovanni Cipriani, like button, hit Sinful. Thanks for the reminder. Let's see. Sinful says, you're welcome. But to get back on Gio, and you guys can pop on some more questions. We'll talk about that a little bit more. There's been word from other people. I've heard rumors and stuff that a couple of the other vloggers were thinking about going back. I don't see that happening. I was actually kind of shocked that Paul Cardwell left. And I had heard that he got booted, but I'm not sure of that. I've seen nothing to really prove that, unless somebody else knows something I don't know. Sinful says, next week I will be back in Utah. Utah must be cold around this time of year too, I would think. Let's see. Lynn says, Sinful. Joke. Let's see. Who else we got on here? Let's get some more talk going on here. Let's see. Sean Richardson. LOL. Hit Sinful. LOL. Poor Sin. So yes, it is. And let's see. Justin in Arkansas is on board. Justin's not in Arkansas though. Used bikes are often still in the original owner name, not the two other owners in between. There is no title, so hard to tell if payments are still owed. So that's the problem. Way I would say just get a new bike. Michael L says, I would be surprised if Gio goes back, considering why he left the States. Exactly. exactly, Mike. I didn't want to say that, Michael, but yeah. Um, but he might, because maybe all that's all over now. Sinful says they're getting snow in the mountains. Let's see. Damn Car says the news about Geos is from his latest video. That's interesting though. I don't actually watch the other vloggers that much. I got enough stuff to do on my own without following all these other channels. Damn Cars, the news about you. Let's see. Giovanni Cipriani says best to buy a new motorcycle there. Bought my Asawa a new one in 2021. My brother-in-law is a mechanic in Gulagan City. So while we are here in Florida, he takes care of all its needs. Art Park and Garden, he'll get better deal if he does go back. Justin Arkin says I bought my bike new last October, re-registered this week. Yeah, Justin's pretty up on the stuff about bikes and stuff like that. I think he did a video on that already too. Back further, hopefully he does some more videos soon. If you're listening to me, Justin. See, Michael L says that is why I left it vague. Okay. Giovanni Cipriani, payment was only $100 a month. Let's see. Dickie Spaz says I think that the only reason to go back after so long is to make some quota. Gio looking to qualify his bride for SSI benefits. I mean, it's possible that he just wants to pick up that'd be 10 years over there though before you come back here. I don't know. I think it's a risk whenever you go back to the United States with a Filipina unless she's close to your age. That's just my thoughts on that. I'm sure I could get a lot of arguments on that. Justin in Arkansas says thought it was due in October, but last number in my plate was 9, so it was due in September. Let's see. For Android 101, Gio is getting married and taking his Filipina back to the USA. I tried that. So many others now broken divorce. I know. This time different, right? He knows better. I was married to a Filipina. I took her from here and went back. And that was when I was in my 20s. And of course, you guys know the rest of the story because I'm over here now. But yeah, they usually leave you when you get back there for one reason or another. Over there, they are exotic. Over here, they're the norm. And over here we're the exotic. So that's it's funny the way that works, but that's the truth. So over there they get noticed a lot. Sinful says hi Dickie. Dickie Spaz says hi Sinfuls. Michael L says if you bring a Filipina back to the States, you are no longer the exotic one. She is. That's what I was just talking about. Renee Jimenez says, I own some Tesla. What do you think? Not financial advice. I think Tesla is a long-term hold. If I could invest in stocks right now, I would, and I can. And I own them, and then the company made me sell them all off, and that was Ameritrade, unfortunately. And I was a little bit upset about that because I wasn't living in the States. They said I couldn't have the account anymore. David Hess says, hi, everyone. Tex World, Geo shared a video of 2 expats fighting in a road rage incident. He called for them to be fined by authorities. That's not necessary. The embarrassment from the fight video posting was punishment enough. I don't know. I something. I mean, people get stupid over here sometimes. Let's be honest. I think they should be fined probably. I think he's probably right in saying that. I think if you do something stupid over here, you should be fined. Lynn says, Steve, are you planning to remarry by any chance? Yes, probably. I'm thinking about it, so, who knows? Kind of a personal question. We'll, see what happens in the future, let's see. Dickie Spaz says, I saw that Text World. LOL, what a disaster. Let's see. Let's get some more talk on here. We got 57 people on here. We should have some more chat on here. Let's go. But to get back to what Geo did, I mean, I've seen some people over here that have done some horrendous stuff to people, and they should have been booted out of the Philippines. Some of the stuff that they did to me, lying, setting me up, things like that. And then we got people on here that do videos on me and stuff like that. That's all lies and malice. you know, they go after you with malice, and they don't even know who you are or what you're about or what you do. You know, it's kind of terrible. So let's get some more talk on here, guys. Let's see. We're up at the end with Dickie Spaz, where he says, here we go. Sinful says, all I can say is I want to come back home now. I sure miss there. Lynn says, clap, clap. Where's your girlfriend? There for sure. She's smiling with a blinking of her eye. You know, she's sitting right here with me. You know. Dickie Spez says, Steve, do you keep up with immunizations? I did with the COVID stuff. I don't, you know, I didn't want to, but I kind of had to just so I could walk into the malls and stuff like that, you know. Mr. Sarcilla says, greetings from Virac. For Android 101, Michael L. and they know it, and change 180 degrees once in the U.S. I'd agree with that. Not all, but a good chunk of them. Sean Richardson says, look for houses for rent, 20,000 to 50,000 a month, please. We've showed some, Sean, on there. We actually showed Sinful's home on there, and he was in a good range there, and a nice home too. That neighborhood that he's in is a really nice place. Sinful says, Mr. Sarcillus, that's where my wife was born. James Nichols says, I'm thinking Geo's statement going to the USA is nothing but getting more views. That's possible. You know, there are people out there that will do that, but I mean, I'm not sure if Geo is the type that will do that or not. You know, I mean, I don't want to say something bad about him. Giovanni Cipriani says Geo is crazy to leave the Philippines. I think anybody at this point is crazy to leave the Philippines because of the costs here. I mean, the costs are so damn good; it's ridiculous. You know, I mean, 2,000 to 3,000, you're in a good range to live a really decent life over here, a normal life. Without any wants, you know, or, you know, all your needs and wants are pretty much filled. Mr. Sarcillas has finally bought a land, starting to build the house, excited to share when it's done. Sean Richardson says, nice is mucho important, lol. Lynn says, James, you got it. Damn Car says, fighting is a good way to get deported. Actually, it is, you know. You know, the way that you get deported over here, and this is what the BI told me when I went in there to talk to them about, actually, not just one person, I went there to talk to them about a couple people over here that were doing some really crazy stuff over here, Americans. And they told me the only way you get booted out of here is if you serve up anything over a year in jail in the Philippines. That's what the guy told me. Now, whether that's true or not, I don't know. That's what the guy said. Because one of the guys did serve time in jail over here, so he should have been booted out, but he wasn't. Renee Jimenez, Steve, blink if you don't want to get married. LOL. Mr. Sarcillas, yeah, it's amazing and calm. Actually, I gotta tell you something. The girl that I'm with right now is awesome, you know, and she's a fantastic girl, you know, and I'm really, really happy with her. Let's see. Textworld, the dude who has a channel solely rubbishing the Philippine expats is the worst. Yes, I agree with you. I don't want to mention his channel name lest I give him unwarranted publicity. I agree with you, Textworld, 100% on that. That guy's, you know, he's my favorite turd, you know. I think he's everybody's favorite turd. No, they don't know hardly any people subscribe to him or watch him anymore. Let's see. Dickie Spaz says, I bet Sinful's it's as much a different country the past 3 years, almost like a race to the bottom. Yeah. Gurkha 9, James Nichols, you're right. He's mentioned it many times in the past without ever going even for a visit. Sinful says, Mr. Sarcillas, we have 6 hectares near Virac. Mr. Sarcillas says, super, you can come visit when I start building in January to share some advice. There we go. Sinful's fighting maybe, but some seem exempt. That's the problem. I mean, there's people over here that it's almost like they can do anything that they want, and there are these expats that come in here and they're horrible, they're terrible, you know, and they get away with just about anything, and people, the Filipinos, notice that they're doing it, but I don't think that they know how to push the right connections in the government to get them out of here, you know, and one of them is the guy that we were just talking about. The you know, he's some vloggers here should just be kicked off here and kicked out of the country. Michael L. says, it is more than just the cost of living and currency arbitrage. It is nice being the exotic one. That too, Michael. I agree. I'd agree with that. Um, I'd like to touch on that though. I mean, there's some people coming over here, and um, they're not the best of the best, you know. And I see them out there, and they're starting to have a hard time now, getting girlfriends. You know, I've noticed it with some of the guys over the past 2 or 3 years, that some guys have a hard time with, you know, getting a girlfriend over here because the girls are getting pickier because there's a lot of expats around here, you know, and they can be picky, you know. For Android 101, at one time Filipinas were my reason to retire there. Now my main reason is not wanting to return. Phil and I specialize in relationship destruction. So I'd agree on some of that. It's a sport, a game to them. They all do it. I would say all. I would say all. I mean, let's be realistic here, because I've met a lot of nice girls over here. I've seen a lot of expats with nice girls over here. We have a lot of girls in our group that are nice girls. Um, Tons of them. I'm sure Sinfuls would agree with me on this. Sinfuls has an awesome wife, you know, and she stands by her man 100%. And there's a lot of other people out there. I mean, my girlfriend here, she's a doll, you know, and she's awesome. Let's see. Mr. Sarcilla says, did you see the Canadian who got citizenship like a month ago? I'm so excited to meet him too. He seems super chill. I didn't see that, no. I think if you stay in country, I read something somewhere, and I'm gonna have to relook this up because I've been in here 5.5 years now. I'm a year and a half away from 7 years. I read somewhere that if you stay here for 7 years straight, I'm not sure if it was 7 or 10. I want to say it was 7. You could get citizenship in this country, but you have to stay here that whole time. And I've been here that time, so you could get dual citizenship here, which would be kind of cool. Paul Wee says hello from Paul of China, who is visiting Thailand now. Don't generally watch live streaming, just come in to say hi. I'm going to the Philippines next year and apply for the SRRV. Well, Paul, when you get ready, let me know. My email address is steven5975 @yahoo.com, and we can get it done for you for free without using any of these agencies. So if you guys are interested in that, let me know. And I check my emails like every 2 to 3 days usually. Lynn says, Sinfuls at Steve, you're both lucky to have a good Filipina. Congrats. I think we are, you know, to be honest with you, because everybody thinks that every Filipina out there is gonna be awesome, and they're just not. And I don't think any expat is awesome either. You know, every expat out there is just, I mean, we have some real doozies out there too. You know, I think the ratio is probably about the same. You know, Sinfuls put out there, Steven5975 @yahoo.com. Michael L says, is this the becoming Filipino blogger who was granted citizenship by the act of the Philippine Senate? I'm not sure if he's talking about that guy. I thought he was from the U.S. I believe. Mr. Sarcillas, I will for sure when I move, so we can make a good home. But first, I have to retire. Another 9 years to go. Sinful says, Lynn says, thanks. Yes, I am blessed. I think we both are. Now, I mean, I'm lucky right now. James Nichols is getting an SRRV cost effective, considering I'm already 7'3" and a veteran. Yes, you don't even have to do the police report, by the way, if you're over 70, James. So just FYI on that. It's very easy for you to get. It costs in total about $3,000 for everything. Okay, everything. You do need to do a little work though. And you can call me if you need me. Just ask me for my phone number in the emails, and I'll get back to you within a few days. Okay. Let me see. Poco Eagle 2 says, hi Steve, any idea what's the best dating site to get in touch with a woman from the Philippines? I'm on Filipino Cupid, but that's about too many fakers and a scam. I have never been in the Philippines myself. You know, Poco Eagle, just come here. Don't even waste your time going on a dating site. Come here, and I guarantee you, within 2 weeks, you'll meet somebody decent. Just date around. Don't go on these dating sites like most of these guys and then come over here and get married or something like that within a week or two. It doesn't work. You need to come over here and spend some time over here, a few months at least, and get to know somebody and then decide. And even then, if you take her back to the States, I can almost guarantee you they're going to change. You're better off coming here and live here. Sean Richardson, Michael, yes, am waiting for him to introduce his new BF. Text World, Steve, would it be fair to say you're a city guy as opposed to a province guy? Yes. As far as the Philippines go, yes. If I was living back in the States, I'd live in the country. That's just my choice. I actually lived in a log cabin up in Berlin, New Hampshire for a while. And I liked it up there. No electricity, no nothing. Let's see. Sinfuls. James Nichols, are you married? But yes, I think so if you're in good health. Let's see. Mr. Sarcilla says, yes, that guy exactly. He is super nice and calm, I think. Yeah, he seems like a really nice guy if it's the same guy. I'm not sure he's from Canada, though. It's possible he is. Sinful says, I've been blessed for 17 years. Mr. Sarcillas, I've been married for 7 now. George Fair, I'm going to build a house in Mindanao after I bring my wife to Ohio, but I know not to spend more than I can afford to walk away from, just in case anything goes wrong. Definitely. Keep that in mind and always have an emergency fund available in case you have to leave, George. And sometimes you got to walk, when things go sideways. So, and always be ready. Giovanni Cipriani, James, what percentage are you of disabled veteran? I'm 100%. Let's see, Michael L. says, the dating sites are scams. Yeah, boots on the ground is the best. Michael's right on that. Paul Wee, sure, thank you, Steve. I trust you 100%. Yeah, Paul, if you need help anytime, and there's tons of people on here that I've helped already, and they'll verify, we do everything for you to help you. And some of it you can do yourself. I can save you more money if you do it yourself, actually, but sometimes some guys want me to go up there and we charge $70 for the van. I don't make a nickel off of it. Okay, I don't make any money, just the driver does, but I go up and help you. And we do that for free as a courtesy. Let's see. James says, not married and in good health so far. Giovanni says, okay, James. Mr. Sarcilla says, I'm doing the opposite. I will invest a lot because I will stay there for the rest of my life. That's the plan. So that's my plan too. And sometimes plans change sometimes. I almost left there for a while too, due to some things. I still have some health issues I'm dealing with right now. One of them is actually not really bad, but it's kind of bad. It can get worse. We're just trying to deal with it and see what we can do about fixing it. And it's actually affecting my sciatic issues because it made me cut off all my medications now. And actually, Michael gave me one medication I might be able to go back on, so that's a good thing. Michael on here, our moderator. Sinfuls, James Nichols, good to hear on your health. Travis, good morning from Georgia. I hope we can meet for a beer soon. I fly out on Tuesday. Travis, if you ever get down this way, you can give me a yell. Just let me know in advance or whatever, okay? Lynn says, I am single but choosy. There we go, Lynn. Lynn, you should go to one of our expat get-togethers sometimes. The 30th is the next one at 1:30 at Evia Mall. So for any of you guys out there, at Texas Roadhouse, okay, and that's in right next to Alabang and Bocor, I think it is. Go to the Evia Mall and just seek out Texas Roadhouse. Be there at 1:30. And it's just 20 miles south of Manila. Lou Anderson says, I appreciate all your good work, Steve. Thanks, Lou. I appreciate it, man. Michael L. says, I need my big city nights, my libraries, museums, ability to make contacts, cultural attractions. It's funny because I live in the city here, and most of you guys know that. And if you come over to my house, you'd swear I lived in the province. And I live right behind the mayor. And it's kind of funny here because it's just like I live in the middle of nowhere. Like it feels like that. And if I can go walk down back and go down to the river and go swimming down there, and it's beautiful. There's a canyon that goes way down. It's like walking in the middle of the jungle, and it's beautiful. John Fetchko says, I found 2 solid girls on Cupid. Took a while. Have met one. She was as advertised. James Nichols says, 0 0%, nothing wrong. I eat spinach like Popeye. There we go. John Sarkis says, something I've never heard anyone mention. How do you dispose of trash? We put it out in the street and they take it, just like back home. It's a little bit different, the trucks, and they pick it up by hand. RLV, becoming Filipino Canadian Kyle Jennerman, PH name Kuyas. He's a good kid. He's a good kid. Simple says, at James Nichols, LOL. Michael L. Tizanidine. Yes, I actually talked to my doctor about that, Michael. I want to thank you for that one because it's good for the kidney. And right now, my creatine levels went off the charts. And my doctor, not my VA doctor, but my other doctor, made me quit all meds, everything, total. And we're talking to my other doctor right now about getting Tizanidine to lower my creatinine levels, so, and we're working on a bunch of other stuff. And it just shot up like almost overnight, so we don't know why it did it. Could be a stone, it could be an infection, could be something, we don't know. We think it's the meds though. Sinful says, John Sarkis, if my neighborhood we have we have regular pickup on Monday and Friday. Yeah, we have it once a week over here. Gio Cipriani says, soon when I get back home to Philippines, I got to take all my records to Manila VA. How is the Manila VA? It's great. They're good there. They treat you really good there. But they only treat service connections. Keep that in mind. Text World says, Steve, are you renting your apartment? Yes. Or do you own it? Given foreigners can own condos, providing total Filipino ownership for the building is over 60%. Right here, we just rent because it's so cheap. I pay $80 a month here now. And I love my home. I have a nice little home here. It's a 1-bedroom. My bedroom doubles as a living room during the day, and it saves space, saves money, and even though I have enough money to live somewhere else, I like living here. It's just something about this area. Mr. Sarsos, like any other VA, slow and complicated. I don't think it's that slow and complicated. I don't say that about this. This VA has been very good to me, Mr. Sarsilis. In fact, it's been extremely good to me. So, I mean, everything that I've had, they've helped me with. Sinful says, HT, he's got this list there for the Vista Malls. Lynn says, oh, wow. Is it like meet and greet? It's kind of like a meeting. But, yeah, I guess you could call it a meet and greet. Yeah, we have a good time over there. We sit and you can meet all the guys that are in our group and stuff like that. You can meet me and come visit if you want. Sinful says, Lynn says yes, I posted them all above. So just remember that, Evia Mall. Okay, guys? It's Evia Mall. It's right near Alabang. Giovanni Cipriani says, are we still allowed community care in the Philippines like we are here in America? I'm not sure what you're talking about, but Mr. Sarsilis, found my wife on Cupid too. W Loud recommended to talk for a while with ghosts. It needs time more than real life dating, but other than that, all is okay. Mr. Sarsilis. Okay. Lynn says, oh, I see. Let's see. If you can go, Lynn, go. You'll get to meet some of the guys. Let's see. Simple says, I met my wife on Yahoo Messenger when it was a thing. There we go. James Nichols says, are there fully furnished condo rentals near your area? Yes, there are at Hope Residences right here in Tracy. They're going up in price though, quickly, because we've sent a lot of people over there, and they went up from like $400 a month, and they're going up to like $6 or $7. So, but it's right next to the mall. You can just walk over to the mall and eat and shop, and you got a pool there, and there's a walking area and everything. But it's even at that price, it's not bad, but it's kind of small. If you're gonna pay $700, I would just tell you to go over to Santa Rosa and move to New Valley, where Sinfuls lives. Chris Heron says, I will land in Manila on March 7th. Let's see. Michael L says, baclofen raises creatine levels. It is listed right in the monograph under the contradictions. I'm thinking, Michael, that's probably what caused my problems. I'm thinking that it must have been the baclofen. I really believe that. And I'm gonna look into that in another week to see if it's gone down. Hopefully it has. Text World says Sinfuls. That's a nice love story. Michael L. It is one of the reasons I despise baclofen and love tizanidine. Michael, did you have problems with baclofen before and it raised your creatinine levels? That's my question, because if if it raised it for you, it probably is what did it for me, and it did it suddenly. Lynn says, Sinfuls, you have cute love story. Can you tell us more about it? There we go. Sinful says, Text World, thanks. I got lucky for sure. Mr. Sarasilis, every room is a home along as you have good facilities with an aircon and a refrigerator. Other than that, anywhere could be good. I mean, I got my AC right behind me. I just paid $1,000 for that one. It's a new one. It's a 2 horsepower. I could have got a cheaper one, but I wanted a really decent one. It's not a Carrier this time. It's something else. Sinful says, just that we met there in Filipina chat room. She would never ask for money. I tried to give. She flatly refused. She's a diamond. Yeah, Pam is a really nice woman. Sinful's wife is a very nice lady. See, RLV says, October 30, Monday, declared non-working holiday, barangay, and youth elections. I think it's, let's see, non-working. I got to check into that and see if the malls are open. I think it is RLV. I'm pretty sure it is. Dickie Spaz, Sinfuls, I met mine in Yahoo Music chat room 20 years ago. Sinfuls, Dickie Spaz, great. K Fox, hello, Steven. Wish you a great weekend. Thank you, man. Lynn says, it says, message retracted. Renee Jimenez, I used creatine to bulk up in my younger years. It's not good stuff, man. It's bad for your kidneys. Sinfuls puts up SMDC properties. That must be, Hope Residences. So if you guys are looking at Hope, that's the place to go. And they do rentals there. I think they got, somebody told me they have 60 of them, but they're not all furnished. Some are, some are not. Okay? Mr. Sarcil says, we'll try again. My memory last time when I was at the VA in Manila wasn't that good, but in Europe we're used to a different standard. That's why. Poco Eagle says, thank you about the advice to go to the Philippines. I actually would try to find a decent Panay and get there in my country, the Netherlands. It scares me what I hear about changing a woman once being in the U.S. Yeah, they do definitely change. I can tell you that personally. Okay, so, I mean, and a lot of other people will tell you the same thing. It's not true with everyone, but it is with some of them. Lynn says, Sinfuls, I agree, she's a gem. Sinful says, Lynn says, thanks, yes, she is. K Fox, heard that COVID increase in Philippines again. Here in Europe, you can clearly see increases because many people stay home sick from work. Giovanni Cipriani says, can I drop my email address on this live chat so I can get more information from all of you expats there if I need it? If you want to, if you maybe you can make some friends on here and you can talk to some of them. Otherwise, you can talk to me by emailing me, Giovanni, if you need any help with anything. Renee Jimenez, Sinful, she was music to your ears. Let's see, pooping while standing's on here. Curious whether you strongly considered Thailand versus Philippines, pros and cons of either. The English. I mean, that was it for me. I'm not saying Thailand's a bad place. Some people like it up there. Some people go up there and I just think that the Philippines has more home values. More values here. They have a better value system than the Thais. That's just my thoughts on that. Sinful says, Renee Jimenez, yes, she is. Michael L, no, I will not take a medicine without reading the monograph and refuse the baclofen and ask for tizanidine. Okay, I got you. Sinful's pooping while standing, at least in the Philippines, English is widespread. That's the good part. And most of the people understand it here. Sometimes you talk to people and they act like they understand English. They understand about 50% of what you say. That's quite common. Mr. Sarcil says, yep, here in Europe, at least my part, it's scary like 30, 45% in like 15 to 20 days, alarming speed. Again, topical COVID. Okay. Text World, in the Philippines, I've gone on many long walks and runs across different barangays for exercise and fresh air. I hardly see Filipinos walking, even though they don't have much coin. They're reluctant to walk. Michael L says, I have Goodman and Gilman's 12th edition. I consult regularly about how to get the 14th edition. I read the same book as doctors and pharmacists do. Sinful says, my wife was in the U.S. for 13 years. She is still the same good lady. Pooping While Standing says, my rent went up $500 a month. Time to look at alternatives. Look at the Philippines, you know. RLV says, October 30 malls will be open, but government and private companies will be closed. Okay, so that's good to know. Thank you for letting us know that, because I was going to call them. So we're still up for the 30th for you guys for Texas Roadhouse, if any of you guys want to go. You know, at 1:30 at Evian Mall. DM Cars, Steve, I think GFR is a measure of kidney function. Yes, might be good to get a baseline reading. They're probably going to do that soon. I think it's just something minor. I think it's one of my meds. Mr. Sarcillus, it could be metformin too, because I take metformin for pre-diabetes, not diabetes. Mr. Sarcillus says, yeah, it's also, and also for uric acid. It's also not healthy to walk too much. The temperature is not good for walking every day. I walk in the park where it's actually kind of cool down there, even during the hot days. You know, cooler than walking on the streets. Renee Jimenez, in the States, they want to charge hundreds for COVID shot. What a joke. Let's see. Pooping While Standing says, true sinfuls. Mike D says, Steve, how much for a private home with a private pool per month? Wow. I've seen them out there for as little as 1,000, but there's not many in the Philippines, I'll be honest with you. You can find them someplace, but they're rare and far between. It's not like Thailand. Thailand, they're actually very common. In fact, if you were going to look for a place like that, I would go back and forth to Thailand and probably get a place up there and come back here for 6 months, go there for 6 months, do something like that. Get a furnished place up there, if you know, or get a place on the ocean here. That's possible. That's more probable. Or get a gated community near the ocean with a pool. You know, that's possible too. You can get them, but you won't get a private. You won't get a private pool. Some places you can. There are a few out there, but not many. Probably out in where Sinfuls is, but Sinfuls has a place, but it's not a private pool again. It's a gated community, but they probably have some out there. Philip Macy says, hey there, Steve. Hope you're doing well. What's the one thing you know now that you wish you knew when you first arrived in the Philippines? Wow, that's a good question. One thing. You know, Philip, before I come over here, this time to live, I was over here before. So I kind of had a good taste of what it was like. And also, I read for 4 years before I came here because I had started planning. I was originally going to live in Belize. And I changed my mind and says, I'm just going to give the Philippines another shot at finding somebody over there, and also to live there because it was so cheap. It was the prices. The one thing I would say, I don't know. There's nothing really that I can think of right offhand. That's a tough question. Because I'm pretty satisfied here. I could say one thing, but it's kind of a personal thing that I can't throw it out there. But other than that, I really can't. Right offhand, I'm sorry, Philip. I can't think of anything right offhand. Michael Ells, Thai also uses Indic script. I had enough trouble learning Greek and Cyrillic script. Sinful says, Mike D, I would say probably at least 50K in suburb area on up. Exactly. Sinful is probably right on that. It's like $1,000. Mr. Sarcil is like $800, $870 a month. D, something like that. If you can find them, they're out there. They're just hard to find. You find them as Airbnbs and stuff like that mostly nowadays. They Airbnb them. Mike D, Sinful is nice price. Wow. Pooping While Standing was moving to the Philippines. One-way trip, meaning you can't come back. I'm not planning on coming back. I had to have the throwaway ticket when I came over here, and I never planned on using it. You know what I mean? I can go back there if I want to. I just don't want to go back. Sinful 76 watches, only 49 thumbs up. If we could tap it, thanks. So we're up to 84 and 51. James Nichols says, if all goes well, I'll be landing on the Philippines November 18th. There we go, James. Michael L says, I get CMP and lipid panel every 6 months. Mr. Sarcilla says, here it's free and people still don't take it. Sinful says, Mike D, now I pay $45K for my house in a gated subdivision where we have 2 pools, basketball courts. That's actually, now guys, if you guys want to see what Sinful's house looks like, the last place I did showing a home was his home. So you can see his home on there. And it shows what you can get for the price that he's talking about. Renee Jimenez, metformin, take something else. I heard bad things about research it. I heard good and bad. Okay, so metformin, I've heard a lot more good stuff than the bad stuff. But now I'm hearing about the creatine with that too. It does raise the creatine levels. So you got to be careful with the metformin also, unfortunately. I heard it does cause some nerve damage or something too. Lynn says, at Sinfuls, that's affordable. Mike D, yeah, those are amazing prices. Sinful says, yes, Lynn, it is for my living arrangement and neighborhood. Very clean, quiet, safe, no roosters anywhere. See, that's the thing over here. A lot of people don't understand that you go into a regular town here, that's a regular Filipino town, it's hard finding a good place to live. I mean, Tracy has some good places and good neighborhoods and stuff like that. Don't get me wrong, but where Sinfuls live, it's very, very upscale living, and it's nice, and it's like 1/2 to 1/3, I would say, of what it would cost in the U.S. for those homes. Probably maybe even it's probably about 25% of the costs over here, and you get a nice place. Some of those places I'll bet you would go for like around $3,000 or $4,000 a month back home. And that's no joke, because there's fees and stuff like that, back home. Sinful says, Mr. Sarcillas, good night. Let's see. He says, have a good live. Gotta go, Steve. Work is starting again. Be safe. Have a good rest of the night and good night's sleep. Thanks, Mr. Sarcillas. John Fetchko says, nurses have told me my foot neuropathy is from metformin. Yeah, metformin, I've heard about that, and it might be time to leave the metformin, and I'm going to go back to cinnamon and ampalaya. So, and watching my diet and slowing down on Coca-Cola and sugar. Mr. Sarcillas at Sinfuls, good night. RLV says, Steve, where's the whiteboard? I actually have it right here. I took it down. Let's see. Mike D says, how much is that throwaway ticket? How do you get it? You can get a throwaway ticket for as little as $50 to Singapore. As long as you have the throwaway ticket, you don't have no worries about coming in here. Sinful says, ROV on the floor, LOL. Yeah. For Android 101, where to retire? I struggle with that question every day. If one subtracts the easy access to women we couldn't get otherwise, is the Philippines really the best choice for me? Maybe not. It really depends, it depends where you live here, man. And I think Sinfuls would agree with this. I mean, he lives in a place that's very American, but it's still in the Philippines. It's very Western, he has all the malls, all the nice places, the clean streets, a clean town, and it's got nice views over there and things like that. You couldn't ask for a better place than where he lives. He lives in a really nice area there, and that's a nice upcoming area. There's a lot of areas like that now in the Philippines that are up and coming. But you have to remember the prices are higher than like where I live here, and they're a lot higher. But I choose to live here. Maybe someday soon I'm gonna move somewhere else. We'll see what happens. For Android 101, where to retire? I struggle with that question every day. If one subtracts the easy access to women, we couldn't get otherwise. Let's see, we already did that one. Let's see, Mr. Sarcillas says, we'll go only one time every 3 years back. So my plan is two and half years, then half a year going back, and yes, something like that, maybe even less. We will see. Mr. Sarcillas, BB, all. Sinful says, Mike D, you can get a throwaway ticket from throwaway.com or something like that. That's not, I think that's the site that they rent you a ticket, but you got to be careful with that, Sinfuls, if that's the site you're talking about. Let's see. Michael L says, metformin is fine. It is the baclofen that is causing the issues. I tend to believe that, Michael, because I'm starting to get a little bit of stuff from the baclofen, to be honest with you. and I'm wondering if that's the cause. ROV Sinfuls, ha ha ha. Michael L. Metformin is only bad if you exceed the dosage table. Cinnamon is worthless per the peer-reviewed literature. I disagree with that, Michael. I've had luck with the cinnamon actually, and Ampalaya together. They kind of work together. I'm thinking the baclofen is probably what rose my creatinine levels. My doctor's saying that she thinks it might be the metformin, and I did read that, but I think the baclofen's worse. Text World, Mike's Philippines retirement is in favor of intro of PH divorce law with alimony, etc. As I've told him, I disagree. It'll encourage expats to remain single. Why would you marry a Philippine girl and risk it? Well, after 5 years, you're married anyway. A common law marriage, unless she's married already. You know, so, I mean, you know, it comes a time when you really got to move forward in this world. You know what I mean? And I think everybody has the entitlement to get a divorce. That's the way I feel about it. If you married a girl and you took that chance and it didn't work out and you have to pay half, you have to pay half, you know, or you have to pay something, some sort of alimony or whatever. TJ Riley says, cut out sugar and carbs and you will cure your diabetes. I don't have diabetes. I'm just pre-diabetic. I'm not even that right now. I was, you know, just a little bit over. Drug companies don't ever want you to get better, else they lose a customer. Sinful says, TJ Riley, agree. Michael L., I really do not recommend renting an airline ticket. I don't either. You're right on that, Michael. The BI has direct read access to the combined Sabre database. Sinful says, Michael L., my tenant used this and said he has no issues. They didn't ask for it anyways, but yes, this is not onboard ticket advice. Ha ha ha. Sinful says it's not a rented ticket, but in a preliminary reservation, it shows that there is one. No, I get it. But they, you know, it really is. It is kind of like a rented ticket. You know what I mean? Because you know that reservation, you have no intention of ever using that. So you're renting a reservation, kind of. For Android 101, I've lived in Asia for 15 years. My meaning is now no matter how paradise any place is, it ain't that way 365 days a year. I'd agree with that. If anybody would agree with that, I'd agree with you on that 100%. You know, I mean, anybody that knows my videos, I pretty much put it out there, you know, that it's not Fantasy Island here. It's not Fantasy Island at all. You know, we're actually going to be doing a video on that pretty soon, and go through some of that stuff. You know, Sinfuls, again, not travel advice. Michael L. says, marriage is useful for 13A visas. However, if things go south, you get downgraded to tourist visa. Yeah, Michael, we just had a couple of guys come over here just recently that called and asked me about this. They said, should I do the 13A visa or should I do the SRRV? And I always tell them, if you're military, ex-military, do the SRRV. You know, if you're retired military or not, you know, or you're just regular military, do the SRRV, because that way there you don't have to leave if you go through a divorce or something. Pooping While Standing says, life is a struggle, more so now than yesterday. Michael D., do you recommend someone under 50 staying on the tourist visa? I get there at 47, 48, but also a vet. Mike D., yes, I would do the tourist visa till you're 50 and then switch over. You might want to talk to me before you come, though. Because there's some advice I'll give you so that you can get the SRRV visa quicker when you get over here. You won't have to go back to the States or do any paperwork stuff. So contact me and I'll help you with a few things that you might need help with. Okay. Again, Steven5975@yahoo.com. Call me any evening over here during the week from 6 to 9:30. John Fetchko said, had $60 throwaway. Nobody asked to see it, but worth the peace of mind. They see it on there. When they look up your passport, they can see it. Alan Ricky says, my diabetic is under control. A1C is good. Stop drinking alcohol. Michael L. says, SRV is expensive for us civilians. Yes, it is. I have the money and we'll take that route. Pero, not all can afford that route. No. SRV is a little expensive, but it's well worth it, I think. Just because it's, I mean, for the other people that aren't, excuse me, that are not military, it's about $360 a year, but you don't have to keep going into the BI and all that stuff. I mean, even with the tourist visas, you can do online now, but it's still, it's just different. Klepto, uh, Klepto, New York City. Good morning to us and good evening to you. Love the videos and hope you're doing well. Thank you. Renee Jimenez. I like alcohol. DM cars creatine levels can vary with fluid intake. Yes, I drink a lot of liquids, but I drink a lot of soda too, which is not good. Renee Jimenez, the plane. Um, Lately, I've been cutting back even on that because with the kidney creatine levels, I'm kind of worried about my kidneys. So I've been drinking lemon and lemongrass. Michael L. I limit myself to 2 shots of Disaronno before bed, so my alanine amino transferase levels stay normal. Don't need any liver issues. Sinful says Steven5975 at yahoo.com. Let's see, we got Text World says, to be fair to Mike's Philippines retirement, he supports PH divorce law intro to give local ladies married to local Pinoy men who have deserted them the opportunity to divorce so she can remarry. See, that's where I agree. I agree with that 1000% because I think there's a lot of women over here that are living and they can never remarry because of the way things are right now. And I think divorce would be really, really cheap over here too. But I think there'd be a flood of divorces when if it did go through. AJ Pat, good to be back on the chat. The situation in Israel and Gaza looks horrible. It's awful that women, children, and the elderly people were killed in cold blood by Hamas terrorists. I mean, that's to be expected from those people. They're animals, Those people are animals that are doing that stuff. What else can you say when people do stuff like that? It's horrible. Let's see. Michael L says, "I like good alcohol. Won't touch crap stuff." Let's see. For Android 101 says, "Common law marriage in the USA, living together for X years only counts as common law marriage. If you represented yourselves even just once as being married, check. Carefully always." John Fetchko, A1C, 6.3 to 6, 2 months. I don't know where I'm at. The doctor always says that my A1C is phenomenal. Michael L. Hamas must be destroyed. Hamas to land as. Dickie Spa says, John, change in diet? My diet has not changed. Mine hasn't. Let's see, you're talking about John's, yeah, fair to go from 6.3 to 6. I guess he must have changed something. Probably sugar. Renee Jimenez, all walking. As soon as people get over here, they lose weight. And their sugar gets better, too. I'm not sure why. I think people are more active over here. Renee Jimenez, will child support and alimony be included? Yes, absolutely. John Bergeron, I'm really late tonight. You're okay. We'll still be on here for a little while longer. John Fetchko, think it was fresh food. As soon as you get to the Philippines, a lot of the guys, the first month, they lose like 15 pounds, 10 pounds. I lost like 15 pounds, I think, when I got over here. Sinful says, I am down 30 pounds in the last 2 years. See, I mean, and Sinful is a pretty active guy. There's a lot of guys over here do golfing. You're walking around the golf course. You're walking around the malls. You do, like today, I had a pretty hectic day today. I mean, I'll be honest with you, I was running around everywhere today. I had a fan break, and I went out and bought a new blade for it. New blades, I should say. And I was able to fix the fan. It just kind of, we were cleaning it, and it ended up breaking. And I didn't know you could buy blades over here, but you can buy blades for them. So the blade broke, and it was one of the kids cleaning it. So it's fixed now, though. Sinful says, I get up each day and feed my dog, walker, then ride my mountain bike, swim and golf, and ride my motorcycle. John Fetchko lost 15 in 2 months. Let's see, who else we got on here tonight? We're up to 80 people, 59 thumbs up. Thank you, guys. I appreciate that. But I want to see who else is on here. We got 80 people on here. See if some of these other guys can talk on here. There we go. Dickie's Best says, John, that's great. I drop around 15 pounds every time we visit due to not eating processed foods and drinking soda. See, I drink soda over here, and that's one of my problems. But I had to stop because of the metformin. I think I'm going to try to go back on a lower dose of metformin, though. Hector Gubat, Sinfuls, is it true caddies there are women? Yes, it is true. I heard that from some of the other golfers around here. Sinful says, I have cut out soda, energy drinks, and alcohol. Let's see. I just bought some pina colada stuff that's all pre-mixed. And I'm not a big drinker, but I like having a nice pina colada every once in a while. For Android 101, I have not used sugar in years. Sorry. Sinful says, Hector Gubat, yes, yes, or you can get a guy. I heard it's pretty, they have guys and girls out there on the golf course doing the caddying, and they're both really good. Michael L, I don't golf myself. I just hear we have a couple of golfers around in the group, so we hear from them. Michael L says, I know so many Pinoys that cheat on their spouses while the spouse is away on OFW duty. The lying, the diversion of resources is the worst of it. These people should just be honest and make it an arrangement. Let's see. Dickie Spass says, soda for me equals liquid crack. That's kind of my coffee, For Android 101, Android 101 stevia. I don't like stevia. That stuff tastes horrible. For Android 101, can you get pure stevia powder there? Yes, I just saw it the other day. You can get it. Spike Protein, is clean drinking water available? Is this why everyone drinks soda? No, you can get clean water here. You can get bottled water, and it's clean, and it's not that expensive. It's actually cheaper here than in the U.S. Michael L, Ace K and aspartame are my favorite zero-calorie sweeteners. Let's see. Renee says, I dropped 200 overnight. I dumped my ex. There we go. Just a Bill 02 says, damn it, you got the song in my head, Escape the Pina Colada. The Pina Colada song. There we go. Sinful says, Spike Protein, yes, I pay 40 PHP for 5 gallons of my cola. You get these blue jugs over here, and they're really cheap. I think they're about what he said, about 40. Dickie Spaz says, Renee, haha, a humantroid. Sinful says, Renee Jimenez, LOL. Let's see. David Hess says, I use stevia as much as I can. Tastes as good or better than sugar. I don't like stevia. I just never, it has like a strange taste to it. For Android 101, thank you. Once you get used to stevia, nothing is ever sweet again. 100% natural, does not trigger the insulin response, FYI. Yeah, I like Coke with sugar rather than with the corn syrup, to be honest with you. And you can get it in the bottles over here. And it's pretty good. It's just like the Mexican Coke that you can get from Walmart and stuff like that. We're going to be signing off in about 10 minutes, guys, okay? Because we're going to end it a little bit early tonight. Usually we go about 90 minutes. We're up to about 10:30 right now. Michael Elsa, stevia is gross. Ace K and aspartame are better tasting. I drink Coke Zero. I don't like the taste of Coke Zero. AJ Pat says, now Israel is on a war footing, and PM Benjamin Netanyahu has vowed to destroy Hamas in revenge of Hamas' surprise attack and hostage taking of Israeli citizens and foreign nationals. I agree with Netanyahu, man. He should go after them full force. RLV says, kept hearing about that PH divorce law since I was a child in the 70s, 80s. It won't get significant traction because of our church. I disagree with that. I think within the next 5 years we're going to see it get through. Mark my words, it'll get through. Times are changing. And the Philippines is changing pretty fast, too, Android 101 says, meaning diabetics need not give up on sweetness or eat aspartame or saccharin. Yuck. Renee Jimenez says, I like honey in my tea. And I like that, too. I like honey in my tea and in my oatmeal, too. You're right, Renee. Hector Gubat, for SRRV, is a disabled adult child considered a dependent? It's a good question, Hector. You know what? You might want to contact me on that, and I'll give you the name of the lady and everything. It's Mary Rose Baranda, and you can find her on Messenger too. Mary Rose Sales Baranda, with a B, okay, Baranda, and you can ask her that question, or you can email me at steven5975@yahoo.com, and I can give you all that information again. I'll give you her email too if you want to email her. It's better to email her, actually. Patrick Glenn, I got tired of the Philippines and started going to Tijuana. The Mexican women are pretty. Yeah, Mexican women are very attractive, even when they get older. A lot of people think that they Mexican women get fatter quicker. I don't think that that's totally true. There's a lot of good-looking Mexican women. I dated a woman in Belize that was from Mexico for a while. And she was a nice lady, and I'm still actually friendly with her family. She had a very nice family, nice girl too. Faith and her daddy. Good night, all. I hope you all have a great week. Sinfuls. Good night, Dean. John Fetchko mentioned to 2 doctors drank less alcohol in the Philippines. They dismissed the fresh food. John Bergeron. I drank San Mig Light. It works fine for me. There we go. Let's see. Faith and her daddy says, Rich, I'll call you later. Sinfuls. Okay. So we're going to call it a night, guys. I want to thank Sinfuls and thank Michael for being the moderator tonight. And thank you guys for watching tonight. And be sure to like and subscribe, guys, if you're not subscribed. And if you have any questions or you need any help, you guys know you can always email me. I answer as quickly as I can. And I'm not answering as quick as I used to, but I usually answer people within 3 to 4 days, usually on average. So just FYI, guys. But anyway, guys, God bless. Take care. And thanks again, Sinfuls. And thanks again, Michael. Good night, everyone. God bless, guys.